Hey everybody, good morning or good afternoon or good evening whenever you're watching this video. Hey, welcome to the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Listen guys, I got a story I want you guys to be aware of because you need to know if you're or going to be someone who is a victim of this particular case. Now, there's a gentleman who was recently arrested in Cobb County, Georgia for stealing people's credit cards as they went through the drive-through of Dunkin' Donuts franchises. Now, you guys, this is a really interesting story, but it also makes us aware that everyone that smiles in our face is not always there with a friendly smile. Some of them have deceptive smiles, and we're going to talk about it today on the Juice Radio and Talk Show as we cover this story. Well, not cover the story, but as we're going to share this story about Muhammad Alam, who has now been arrested for stealing customers' credit cards. Let me go ahead and play this intro, and then we're going to be right back to have this discussion.
Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina Clovis, special guest. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by TRIUMPH Ministries.
All right, you guys, here is the picture of Muhammad Alam, A-L-A-M. Muhammad was a manager at Dunkin' Donuts, and you guys, there's a story that y'all need to be aware of because you need to make sure that when you go to these franchises, that you make sure you are in possession of your credit card when you leave. Now, I'm going to run this story and share it from Channel 2's news. They posted this story on their website. And you guys, we're going to have a conversation about this because when we have these stories on here, we want to make sure that you become aware of things that you need to make sure that are in your possession, like your credit card, for instance. So let me go ahead and share this news article with you guys in the video, and then we're going to have a whole conversation, you guys. You can't trust everybody simply because they put a smile on their face and act as though they're a friendly person. It's so funny. Look at this. Look at this picture. This is the news anchor. Oh my gosh, I just froze in here and didn't even realize it. Check this out. This picture is hilarious. Well, we got the good morning giggles. Look at this picture. Oh my goodness, you guys. I love doing this, these videos. They're funny. But let's go ahead and run this and see what they had to say on this story, you guys. This picture is so cute. It's so cute. All right, here we go, you guys.
Now, a Channel 2 Action News exclusive, a Dunkin' manager in Cobb County is accused of stealing credit cards from some of his customers. Here's the mugshot. Police say that he used the credit cards at various stores around the area. Channel 2 Cobb County Bureau Chief Michelle Newell live at the Dunkin' where police say the crime started. Michelle?
Yeah, and Justin, those customers told me they stopped here at the drive-thru here at Dunkin' just to buy a couple of things, only to later discover a number of fraudulent charges in the thousands. That manager says he admitted to police that he actually stole one of the cards, used it, and sold something that he bought with one of them. But police say when they arrested him, they found more than one stolen credit card.
He was a manager at Dunkin' on South Cobb Drive in Smyrna.
A lot of people felt the same way I did. They felt like, he was a great guy.
Now, Muhammad Alam is accused of stealing from his own customers.
I was basically feeling betrayed at that point. because I had seen that manager a few times.
I spoke with 2 victims from 2 cases police are investigating.
You're getting your food, you're making sure everything's correct, and you don't even realize you don't have your car back.
Police say Mohammed used those victims' credit cards here at this Best Buy along Cobb Parkway. One victim says he actually spent more than $1,000 here.
Pictures from security cameras at Best Buy on Cobb Parkway helped police zero in on Alam.
When they pulled up the footage, I said, oh my gosh, that is definitely the man that works at Duncan.
Another victim told police she noticed transactions she didn't make at multiple stores, including this Kroger and this farmer's market on South Cobb Drive. Now Alam is charged with several felonies.
Definitely set alerts because I did not have alerts.
Please make sure that you receive that card back. Sometimes these people do a good job of kind of like keeping you distracted, and then they hold on to your card.
A Duncan representative told me Alam was fired from this franchise location. We looked at some Google reviews on this location where some customers complained about missing credit cards, and they said they noticed fraudulent charges. It's unclear if police are investigating any of those claims. But Smyrna PD, well, they want you to give them a call if you think you are a victim. Live from Cobb County, Smyrna, Michelle Newell, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, you guys. So there you have it. Now, a couple of things I want to go over with you all as we discuss this a little bit more. What I want you all to be aware of, a couple of the tips that the news anchor stated out there. And you guys, this is very important. A lot of times we get so busy in our day, we're going through these drive-throughs and we feel as though, oh, let me just, be in a hurry and in a rush. But you guys start paying more attention to what's going on. When you get your items that you purchased through those drive-through, did you get your credit card? Is it taking that cashier a long time to get your credit card to you? What is the delay? Because I have seen some stories of some people that said that, yeah, they got their credit card back, but then they noticed that some charges occurred on their card. Now, what had happened in those articles that I saw was that some of these people that work for these stores or these corporations, they would take the credit card and either take a photo of it or write the number down and use it for their own purposes. Now, this is the first time I heard that the actual cards were missing and left in possession of these individuals. But this is crazy. Here, this gentleman had this job. He was a manager, somebody in a trusting position at this corporation. They gave him a job. And instead of him just living off of the income that he has for his job, he chooses to steal from the people that were helping to pay his salary, the customers. This is ridiculous. We have to start learning to live within our means. If you're not making enough money at the company that you're with, maybe go find another job. But why steal someone's credit card? And that person is working hard to be able to make a living for themselves also. And to think, did you think that you were not going to get caught? Of course it's going to come to an end. And then let's talk about what was he using the cards for. Now, the news article stated that there were some purchases at Kroger. There were some purchases at another store. Maybe he was buying food. Maybe there was a need for him to purchase some food. That still does not make it right. But some of these other purchases, I believe they stated Best Buy. We've got to stop doing this. I just don't understand a lot of times when people steal and then they use the money for unnecessary things. It's just ridiculous to me, the theft in it all. This person could have made a living, an honest living, and survived and tried to survive on what he had, but he chose to steal. Now you've got all these people who have to contact their credit card companies, put alerts out there. Ridiculous. Let me talk about a couple of things also regarding alerts. You guys, you must have alerts on your cards. Now, this is important. Sometimes when you get these credit cards, you're in such a hurry to let me just activate the card and be about my business. Slow down, you guys. Take some initiative to protect your card and your identity. A lot of these credit cards, if not all of these credit cards, have the access where you can put alerts on them when you make a purchase, a certain dollar amount. When you make a transaction, it will give you a notification. Now, you can get that by text mail, or you can get that by email or by text message. This is very important to have on your cards because it's going to make you aware of when these transactions take place. And this is important because some credit cards and bank debit cards have a time limit on when you can state that fraud has taken place. And if you do not contact the credit card or the bank within that certain amount of time, they may not reverse those charges. For instance, there's some banks and credit cards that say you have up to 90 days to state that there's a fraud on your card or your credit card to dispute a transaction. Thank you, Holy Spirit. If you do not dispute that transaction within that time frame, they may not reverse those charges for you. Now, some are 90, some are as small as 30 days. You must be aware of what's going on with your accounts, including your credit cards. So I want all of you to do this today if you have not already done it. Pull out all your credit cards, contact them, or go online and click the button. It's easier when you go online. Click the button and put all the alerts on. Put the alert when there's a name change. Put the alert when there's an address change. Put the alert when there's a debit card transaction. Put the alert when there's a transaction. And as far as the dollar amount, put the minimum that you can. If your bank account or your credit card will allow you to put a $20 minimum alert, meaning if someone does a transaction $20 or greater, you would get a notification. Put that $20 alert. Don't put something like $100. I don't want to keep getting all these alerts. I don't want to do that, because those $20, $10, $5, they add up, you guys. And remember, like I said previously, there's a time limit on some of these cards when you have time to dispute them. So put the minimum, even if there's no minimum, even if it says you want to be aware of every transaction, regardless of the dollar amount, put that on there as well. Now, another key thing that you may want to do when you're out here using your credit cards and debit cards, something that I learned when I went to a financial seminar, which was absolutely great. You guys, instead of using your bank account debit cards for these transactions through these drive-throughs, you want to use maybe one main credit card for all of these type of transactions. Why? It's easier for you to track what transactions are taking place instead of using several different cards. If you're going to be using transactions at these drive-throughs or fast foods or restaurants or stuff like that, try to use one main credit card for those transactions. Again, because it's easier to keep track of what's going on. Try not to use your debit cards. Here's why. Your debit card is linked directly to your bank account. That's too much access for an individual. The only reason that you probably should be using your bank debit cards is if you have to make an ATM withdrawal. That is when you probably want to use that. But keep your bank debit card secure enough so that you won't have to be a victim of some of these crimes that take place, because it hits you harder when it hits your bank account. So use your credit cards more so, and then use your debit cards if you want to make an ATM transaction or an ATM withdrawal or even an ATM deposit. But try to use your bank debit card least as possible. Okay? Get more focused on using one credit card for these type of transactions, because it'll help you to be able to better manage what's going on with that particular credit card and those transactions. Okay. And you guys, when people are real friendly, it's nice when they're friendly and they're smiling at you. But also nowadays, it's sad, but sometimes we have to look at that as a sign to beware. Make sure, you guys, that person that's smiling at you through that drive-through window or at that counter desk or at that cashier, make sure that as they're smiling at you, that you're keeping an eye on your credit card and what's going on with it while it's in their possession, even if it's for a brief moment. And you guys, make sure that you're getting that credit or debit card back. Take some time, slow down, make sure you get it back. And if you go through the drive-through or you're dealing with a transaction and the cashier says, well, I gave you your card, and you don't find it, don't be so quick to rush off. Stay there in front of that cashier until you locate the card. No matter who's in your line, no matter who's behind you, make sure you've got your card in your possession. And if you don't have the card, then what you want to do immediately, call that credit card company and stop all transactions on that card until you have found the card and it's in your possession. And what you may want to do also, you guys, is this: change up your card information every now and then, okay? What I'm saying with that is you might want to, if you've been using that card a lot or something like that, and you're like, hey, I'm not sure what's going on, what I had with this, you might want to just call them and tell them, hey, can you close out this account and send me a whole new card? Because I just want to make sure that I am secure. Maybe you've done a whole bunch of purchases online and your credit card information is out there and you just want to make sure that it's secure. It's okay to call your credit card company and say, hey, I don't feel as though my card is secure. I would like to ask if you could please close out that account and send me a whole new card. That's going to give you a little bit more peace of mind with future transactions. Okay. Right, you guys. So I would pray and hope that all of you have learned something from this particular incident that happened. You guys, there's no need to be out here stealing from people. It's going to come back to you. You won't get away with it. And that moment that you took to steal, was it really worth it? Were the items that you purchased worth it? Now, I'm not sure the finances that happened with Muhammad Alam, why he thought it was okay for him to steal these credit cards, what the use of these credit cards were. But you guys, now he's going to have to take some form of financial income or finances to pay these lawyers. That's once he gets a lawyer that's going to take this case. Well, you guys, I hope you learned something from this today. Now, put a thumbs up on this video if you have. Share in the comment section to let me know your thoughts on this video, and also share some tips on how we can secure our credit cards, you guys. Let's go out here and protect one another. These stories on these news articles are not just for us to say, oh my God, look what he did. They're also for us to learn some things as well. All right. Thank y'all so very much for being here today. Thank you so very much for supporting the channel. And if you haven't become a subscriber, you might want to go ahead and do that today. Become a subscriber today. If you're watching this on one of our other platforms, come on over here to our YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show, and become a subscriber today. We would love to have you to be one of our subscribers. Thank you so very much for watching. We will see y'all on the next one. And as we close this out, like I always say, love one another, but most importantly, love yourself. And in regards to this Muhammad Alam that thought it was okay to steal, think again before you do that. And think about this. These people work hard for their money. They don't need you stealing it from them and going through the trouble of calling their credit card and saying there's theft on their credit card. Stop it, you guys. Start trusting in God. If you are low on your income, ask God to help you. Don't try and be out here doing things on your own the wrong way. Y'all subscribe to the channel today, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a great day.